Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Gotcha. No, it's Lucifer. And Beetlejuice is actually a planet as well. Well, I think it's a star. Beetlejuice is a star in the Orion constellation. But Lucifer in the chart, like any other body in the chart, Lucifer has both dark and a light side. Lucifer in the astrology chart may indicate where you are tempted to go your own way regardless of the rules. He may suggest excessive pride or a chip on your shoulder. The position of Lucifer can show where the ego gets in the way, where pride comes before a fall, and where you are wrong when you think you are right. Lucifer shows where you want to be seen in the better light. He may symbolize your own personal horror story. Yet Lucifer essentially shows you the light through its absence. If you can squarely face the dark, then Lucifer will bring you the light. By facing the things you most fear, he eliminates the darkest places of your psyche. Perhaps the biggest gift of Lucifer is that he shows you the God within. The divine force is often described as light, and the spark resides within you. Lucifer, in essence, reminds us that we are all gods. Well, that's according to LeeWhitehorse.com. Now, Lucifer, of course, is an asteroid and first discovered on the 29th of October, 1964. And its provisional designation was 1930 Lucifer. It's a carbonaceous asteroid from the outer regions of the asteroid belt, approximately 34 kilometers in diameter. It was discovered on the 29th of October 1964 by American astronomer Elizabeth Roamer at the Flagstaff Station, NOFS, of the United States Naval Observatory. So, well, there you have it. You see, the planets that are going around the sun, we have two belts of asteroids. We have the inner belt of asteroids, and then we have the Kuiper belt. And I think the inner belt, they presumed was another planet, and they're calling that planet Lucifer, and that is between Mars and Jupiter. Elizabeth Roamer, she named it. It is named after Lucifer, the shining one or light bearer, from the Hebrew Bible. Seeing in the dark and rethinking Lucifer. Adversary versus bearer of light, as seen through the mystic rectangle of Scorpio, Taurus, Pisces and Virgo. This is Jeffrey Wolf Green, the School of Evolutionary Astrology. Although the concepts of good and evil are familiar to all of us, it was astrologer Jeffrey W. Green who brought the archetype of evil and the asteroid Lucifer to light in the relation of the paradigm of evolutionary astrology. The archetype of evil, as seen through the horoscope, is associated with Pluto, Scorpio, and the 8th house. And at the moment, the 8th house is where it's all happening, because Pluto is in the 8th house. I'm Gemini, but my ascendant is Sagittarius, and your houses are taken from your ascendant. So 8 going up from my ascendant is Cancer. So it's all happening for me in Cancer, and Cancer rules the home. to find out where your 8th house is. At the moment, we're leading up to a full moon in Virgo. And Virgo is conjunct and aligned with Lucifer. And they are both opposing the sun because it's full moon. So the moon is opposing the sun. And the sun, Ra and Leo. So Leos are having a bit of a tough time at the moment. Lucifer, along with other archangels, was given the charge of serving humanity. However, Lucifer refused to serve humanity as God had directed, and therefore was expelled by God, which is a phenomenon I understand is unique to archangels. When they refuse to do what God has asked them to do, now feeling victimized, the god Pisces, and refusing to take responsibility of his own actions, Capricorn, Lucifer blamed the very humans he was supposed to have helped in an effort to bring them down in the same way that he had fallen. That is, misery loves company. As we know through the paradigm of evolutionary astrology, as well as through some of the great spiritual teachings of the world, the soul contains two opposite and antithetical desires. One desire is to separate from the source of creation, goddess, spirit, and one desire to return to that source. Through our desire to return to the source, that source, or God or goddess, is continually coaxing us back, encouraging our desire and efforts to return through our myriad desires to remain separate from the source. Lucifer, or evil influences or urges us to remain separate. The intent of Lucifer or evil is to separate, not unify. Given that Lucifer himself was created by God, then he too carries the natural dual desires of separation and return. However small the desire to return to God may be, there is at least some of this even within Lucifer. Therefore, even Lucifer could use his free will at any time to choose to accept the responsibility of his own actions, repent, and to know God and God only. In Lucifer, if Lucifer were chosen to choose and repent, desire, and to do just that, then God, being the lover of its own creation and always ready to forgive, would indeed forgive Lucifer and restore him once again to his position amongst the angels, archangels, and all the company of heaven. This topic of evil and Lucifer is not an easy and comfortable one. Most of us would rather hide our head in the sand and simply deny Virgo that God, Pisces, could have created such an energy of consciousness in the first place. But nothing can exist that does not come from God. So that, of course, includes evil. One reason we may wish to deny the existence of the energy we call evil is that if we acknowledge and accept its existence, then we have to acknowledge that the possibility of this influence, this energy, lies within us. However, any and all possibilities were born at the very moment of the creation, as God or Goddess also gave intelligent creatures free will. Even though God did not create Lucifer as evil per se, the possibility of that choice via free will lay within Lucifer as well as within each and every one of us. Well, I think that's enough for one day. Little lesson on Lucifer, Lucy, or we like to call him the devil. It's actually an asteroid, a light bearer or holder of darkness. But remember, light came out of darkness. So remember, every single day, if it's your darkest hour, it's only 60 seconds, 60 minutes long. Your future's only a couple of hours in front of you. Do your best. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends and comment. Ciao for now. Remember to excel.